Mixed race relationships, do they work, do you think? Well, listen to this. Graham here used to support the National Front and Combat 18. He has abused and attacked blacks and Asians. He was a racist. Guess what? He's found love with Nikki, who is half Pakistani. And now he gets so angry by people's racist taunts to her and her family that he's been found guilty of actually assaulting them. So, Giles, proof of pudding. Mixed race relationships work, don't they?
I don't believe so. In my opinion, it's always been, you know, cultural differences are very wide and very, you know, very far apart.
Do they work?
They don't work.
Why don't they work?
They don't work.
Why don't they work?
To me, they just don't work.
Have you been out with white girls?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And lots of white girls?
I've been out with a couple.
And you've had a good relationship with them?
It's been all right. It's been fine. It's been okay.
But you wouldn't marry them?
No.
Why wouldn't you marry them?
Because I believe in keeping... I really believe in keeping it pure and keeping it real.
Keeping what? Keeping what pure?
Keeping my race and my people pure. In the sense that...
The race or the colour?
I think it's a race thing. Like, race and the colour. Well, the colour more so.
Where were you born?
I was born here. I was born in England.
Yeah, you're English?
Yes.
You're English. So
British, though.
Yeah, all right, British.
Right.
So your culture is British?
Yes.
Right. So you could marry a white woman who happened also to be British,
yes,
or a
I
black
could.
woman who
yes,
happened
I
to
could.
be British?
Yes, I could. But I would much rather...
So where's the culture?
I'd much rather her skin to be the same as mine.
Oh, so it's about skin colour.
Yeah, I'd much rather her be the same as me.
It's not about culture now.
Yeah, and culture.
But you just admitted you're English, you're British, and your culture is the same.
I am British, yes.
So you're no different from me. Me and you have the same culture. Probably share the same interests.
Yes.
Same film, same music, similar, perhaps given the age differences, but we could have the same. Same football team or whatever it is, sport, whatever. You and I. Same culture. We like the same food. We go to the same places. We like the same dances. And the only difference between me and you is you're black and I'm white.
Yeah.
And I don't see that, but you do.
Look, if you ask this couple here, right, when they go out, I don't know their name.
Rupert.
Right? Rupert and
Shona.
You're a couple, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right. When you go out in the beginning, right, you both thought, right, about how you would be, walking down the road, say, do you know what I mean? Walking down the road, someone looks at you and think, oh, he's with a black girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone looks at you. A black guy looks at you.
What's the question?
And says, look, it's just the way they
cares about what, so you're worried about what other people might think.
Yeah.
You're worried about what racists might think, not what decent people will think.
Decent people, I mean, they're
not going to run their life on the basis of what you might think about them.
To be totally honest, and if people here were actually totally honest, right? Everyone has a little bit of everyone is racist to a point because people do not understand.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised by how much I can agree with, in fact, because...
Oh, well, you can go home. You can go home immediately.
I don't believe I'm a racist man.
First of all, you said there aren't really any cultural differences. That's our experience. I think there are no cultural differences. We know each other's family. She's from Jamaica. I was raised in this country. There are no cultural differences whatsoever. Like the same music, got the same religious sort of background, vaguely. Speak the same language. There are no real differences. And I actually agree. I think there is a little bit of prejudice in every person. And because we don't actually... It takes a while to get to know people from another culture, another community. That does take time. And when you don't have all the answers, then yes, you are a bit worried about something. So that's something you always work on. Okay, but that's part of the human condition. But essentially, your question that your statement that mixed race relationships don't work is totally flawed. I mean, for me, I've had relationships with different girls from different parts of the planet, England, wherever.
How long have you been together?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. Yeah. Why does it work?
It's great.
What makes it work?
It's just love each other.
Oh, you love each other. Oh, they love each other, Giles. Guess what? That's what makes it work. There's something called love that transcends the fact that one's black and one's white.
We all love. There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
But you
that's
just have
what.
your own colour, right?
I would prefer to be with someone who was just like me, or as dark as me.
Well, that's fine. There's no problem with that. I think if that's how you feel, that's how you should be.
I'm not racist.
But are you saying that there's a problem?
Of course you are. By definition you are. Yeah. In fact, you're all right. If I said I only want to be white people, I'd be prosecuted, but you won't be prosecuted. But if I said what you'd say, of course you are. I'm not saying you don't think you're a nasty person, and you're not. You don't want to discriminate against anybody. You don't want to hurt anybody. I assume all that's true. Yeah. You just say you're going to judge people by their colour, Giles. That's what you're saying. You're judging people by their
No, I
colour.
haven't judged anyone.
You are, because you only want to be with people who've got the same colour as you.
So straight away, I'm judging somebody.
Of course, by their colour or their race, aren't you? Naturally. Do they work, Cherie?
Well, from personal opinion, I had two...
Personal experience?
Yeah, sorry, personal experience. I had two relationships that didn't work. No. And I think, well, I believe strongly it's down to the individual and, you know, what your own ethics are all about. I mean, is it your situation, is it because of what other people perceive of you because you're with a white girl and things like that? Or is it your fundamental views that stop you from seeing somebody?
But why
that's
do you
white?
say your relationship didn't work?
Well, mine...
You were married to...
Yeah, I was married to a Spaniard, and I had a serious relationship with someone from the Dominican Republic, and both of which failed quite dreadfully, really. I had two children, two boys from both of the relationships, and it didn't work. The cultures were very far apart, and I have a strong personality. I'm not saying it can't work for other people, but in my opinion, it didn't work for me.
What caused it not to work? Your strong personality or the cultural divide?
Both. I am quite I'm quite a homely girl, but at the time I took on board their culture 100%. I can speak fluent Spanish. I went over there to live over there.
Well, Spanish culture, I suppose it is different, but it's European.
Yeah, it's more similar to ours, but the Dominican Republic, they're quite distant, really. But I was like a native when I lived out there. I was like one of them. I didn't class myself as being English at all. I lost all my English heritage, to be honest. But when I wanted sort of my English bit back, which used to come out consequently, which it does because you can't deny where you're from, it always used to be a problem. It was always a problem for me.
In what way?
Well, like bringing the boys up, you know, there was always that cultural difference there.
So there's a cultural difference that you found. It wasn't necessarily a matter of colour as it is with Giles. Because in fact, Giles started off by saying it's colour.
But it's not.
But Giles, you said you're English and your culture's the same.
Yeah, I never saw that as a problem. Colour wasn't a problem to me. What was the fundamental reason that my relationships broke up was basically the cultural differences that we had, that we couldn't.
I can see where you're both coming from, actually, because, you know, I mean, being a racist as I was, you know, I can see your point of view.
In the National Front.
In the National Front.
In Combat 18.
In Combat 18.
Carrying out racist abuse.
What made you want to do that?
Because I was a nasty piece of work, basically.
I don't understand.
You know,
how did you become a nasty piece of work?
How did I become a nasty piece of work? Well, without going into too much detail, there was problems at home. And
I'll go away.
Yeah.
And we all got problems at home. Who hasn't got problems at home? Put your hand up. They've all got problems at home.
Yeah. It was difficult, you know. I mean, I wanted to be somebody. I wanted to belong to something.
So you're inadequate.
I was inadequate.
And this is a way of asserting yourself.
Yes.
This is a way of getting importance.
Yes.
By joining this group of hard men.
Yes.
You didn't. Of course they're not. But you didn't, because hard men don't go around like that trying to show they're hard, do they?
Exactly.
But the way you showed you're hard was joining in a group of racists, and then you met Nikki.
And then.
But how could you be attracted to Nikki? She's half Pakistani.
Again, it's a long. You know, before I even met Nikki, I decided that I'd had enough, basically. I wanted to make something of myself. I decided to go to college, and I got involved in drinking drugs and was expelled from college. And when I got expelled from college,
He met you?
I met me.
I mean, you met a right one, you did, didn't you? Ex-racist, Combat 18, drinking drugs, college failure. What did you see in him?
I don't know, I'm still asking me that self 2 years later.
And he's changed, has he?
Yeah.
Aren't you ashamed of his past?
I am a little bit, yeah. But where you've got to come from, it's not the colour of that person's skin, it's what's beneath that person's... That person.
Was it your conscience that bothered you to go into a...
I think it was because...
What do you mean, into what? Into the relationship?
Yeah.
Oh, you think he's not in love with her?
His conscience.
He's just...
No, you're wrong there, my friend. You're definitely
Your conscience
I
brought you in that line.
It brought me, I got involved with church as well. I go to Abundant Life Church in Bradford. Hi, guys. Sorry.
You will be.
But, they go to Abundant Life Church in Bradford, and then, it was through that I realised that what I was doing, I was going to end up dead, basically. And I decided to die to Christ.
So you're saying that in spite of all your background, your relationship with Nikki, it can work?
It can work.
That you can overcome what? The colour?
The colour.
The colour must have been a problem to you.
It was
because you made distinctions based on colour. You liked the Giles, but Giles isn't like you.
Mm.
But he was making the same distinction, but you acted in a vile and nasty way as well, unlike Giles.
Mm.
But apart from the colour, there's also a cultural difference.
Yes.
How long have you been together?
We've been married 2 years yesterday.
And how long, 2 years married? How long were you long?
2.5 years.
Before that?
6 months before
All
that,
right.
yeah.
So and you're married, and the relationship is working.
Yeah, it's been fine.
What did you say to Dees?
So basically, basically you found your conscience and you found your principles.
No, I found Jesus.
You found Jesus.
He found Nikki. Go on, Paul. Sorry.
So, you're saying that Jesus made you change? I think I would say it would have been nice if you would have changed for yourself because you wanted to do it.
I did.
Why did you have to take a third party to do it?
I don't want to preach to you.
No, you're not going to preach.
This is why I'm saying you found your conscience and you found principles. That's how you found Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah, I do agree with the lady, Alicia, and I think that colour is not the problem because colour is skin deep. Now, this gentleman...
You're a couple, yeah?
Yes, we are. And this gentleman had a conversion of heart, whether through Jesus or Buddha or whoever it is. So we're coming to the point that... Pardon?
He weren't Buddha.
Oh, no, it is Jesus. I'm just saying for the rest of the people. So I do believe that it is not colour, like Giles is saying. If he thought colour was important, he should be back in Africa and find his own colour and his culture.
Yeah, but I can find my own. I can find my own colour here.
Yeah, but you're living in a multicultural society in the 21st century, my dear.
I have nothing against that. I'm saying I personally, I do not want to go out with a white lady.
No, I agree with you.
But you have been.
I understand.
I've been there, tried it.
Relationships.
Of course I tried it. Why not? I've been there, tried it.
Do you also feel about the implications on, say, if you were to get serious and have children, the implications there as well?
Look,
let's come on to the children.
I'll tell you what, right? If my son went out, right, and met a white girl, right, brought her home and said, "Look, Dad, this is my girl, right? I love this girl, right? Fine, yeah. It's his life, but that's the way he wants to put it, right?
So you wouldn't,
and you wouldn't.
I would respect it, and I tell you what, I would bring you to my.
Oh right. So you wouldn't call him any. You wouldn't call him any grief.
Of course I wouldn't.
Okay.
Of course I wouldn't.
Charles, are you married then?
Who, me?
You said you got a son.
Yes.
So you have a son?
No, I'm not married. I haven't got a son. Yes.
Son, and is that with a black person?
Yes.
Right. So where is your your family origins from?
Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Yes.
You've been to Jamaica.
I lived in Jamaica.
You lived in Jamaica.
Yes.
And did you meet someone there that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with?
Well, every now and again, I've met someone.
every other week.
It's been that way as well.
If you fell in love, surely colour wouldn't matter, would it? If you fell in love with someone, I've
asked myself that before, but I would much rather, I'd much rather if the person be black.
Yeah, but if you met someone...
Well, what I wanted to say, Giles, I know many white people, I know many black people.
Yes.
But I would, I've got a friend in Australia.
Right.
And I know she would love to meet someone like you.
Why is that?
You're handsome.
Don't
you seem happy.
Don't set you up.
You're a bit tense at the moment.
Are you married? Is that your wife?
You're a bit tense at the moment.
Why? Are you interested in?